Record this? Yes. Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'd like to welcome you all to the last training session that I'm responsible for this evening. I know I've been joking about this for a long time, but I've got 21 days left down there. It's 3 weeks. So our presenter this evening is none other than Sarah Zuleta. She's actually a member of our district. She's a past governor. She's our webmaster, and she helped me immensely during my year as president
Governor.
and governor. I'm sorry, I wasn't president. Oh my God, no. But anyhow, want to thank her for everything she's done. And Sarah's a, a high tech person here, so we'll let her get started. If you have any questions or anything, do you want any interruptions? Or you want to just put stuff in the chat and I'll watch that for you?
Yeah, we can put it in chat. I'll pause every so often, so it's not a big group.
Okay.
So
So if you have questions going around, please put them in the chat and then I'll monitor that and we'll get the questions answered as soon as we can. Then we'll also have some time at the end for some questions, Q&A. So
awesome.
without anything else, Sarah, please go ahead.
Thank you. I know most of you guys, so thanks for jumping on. As Conrad said, I'm Pennsylvania's past governor and also the current district webmaster. And in my real job, I work at Drexel University and am the executive director of administrative systems. So, and I say hi to Harry because Harry also works at Drexel with me, and I help run the administrative systems, and I'm constantly on the computer. So a lot of this is second nature to me, but I know that it's not second nature to many. So I'm always excited to share some cool new tools and things that will really help your club really, streamline some things in your club and also help, get some volunteers. So we're going to talk about a lot of that. But first, I do have a quick poll just to see, gauge the audience. So I'm going to launch one right now. You should see on there 2 questions. I'm just trying to gauge if you are a Facebook user, go ahead and click yes. If not, click no. And then also, what features of Facebook do you use? Check off all that you have used. There is Facebook pages, Facebook groups. Have you done Facebook polls? Have you done stories or reels? Have you gone live during a meeting? All right, looks like, all right, we got some advanced Facebook people here. This is good. So I'll just skip that whole Facebook section. I'm like, no, I'm kidding. You guys are experts. All right. All right, I'm going to end the poll and I'll share the results just so you see it. Do you guys see the results? So pretty much 87%. Not trying to do the math. They did it for me. Thank God. 87% of you have used, our Facebook users have used it. And majority of you there, 92% have used Facebook pages, which is great, and groups. We're going to talk a little bit about groups and focus on polls. So there's a few of you that have used polls, but not the majority. So that's great because we're going to go through that specifically. And then stories and reels, not too many, and going live. So great. And then one other quick, let me see if I got the, oops, let me go back. One other really quick poll. We're also going to be talking about survey tools. So tell me, which survey tools have you used in the past? I can kind of see where you're at. There is doodle.com, obviously Google Forms, SurveyMonkey, FormSite, When is Good, Sign Up Genius is also a polling things, or if there are other tools that you've used that maybe are not listed, feel free to check that off as well. This is looking good. And awesome. So majority of you have used surveymonkey.com, which is great. A few of you use Google Forms, and only one of you have used When is Good, which is great because those are the two, and Sign Up Genius, there's only a few of you that have used it. So we are going to also talk a little bit more in depth about Google Forms, when is good, and Sign Up Genius as a tool that you can use in your club. So we are going to start. I'm going to share my screen, and I will have the PowerPoint available on pakiwanis.org. And also, this is recorded, so it'll be on our YouTube channel. So again, thank you for joining us tonight. Let me move on. We're going to talk about technology. I know it can be your friend and foe, but during, we saw the increase in technology, obviously with Zoom and emails, especially during the pandemic. We really relied on Zoom a lot, and some places used WebEx or Google Meet, but there are so many tools out there. How do you know which is good? It's all it can be complex, but we're going to break it down and kind of highlight a few of the tools that may help you for your club. So first, let's talk about Facebook. I saw that many of you have used Facebook. So they have, obviously it's social media site. Many of you used it to share content and connect with people easily. It's great. I'm sure many of us are on our phones and kind of doom scrolling, kind of looking at everything, which is great, but Facebook is great to get the word out, especially for our clubs, and to create obviously a profile here. It's free. And for clubs, some clubs have their own pages, or they have their own groups. The big difference is that it can be administered by multiple people, and so it can groups, but the big thing is pages. When you post, it's under that page. It's like a company almost. And the groups, anybody can post. On pages, only the administrator can post for most of the time. So we'll show a little bit about that, but we're going to focus on groups because that's where we can allow for polls. And I should actually probably, yeah, there you go. That's what I was reading. So pages obviously are the kind of your official profile for maybe a brand or a business or your club. And those groups can be private or public. I know my club uses a private Facebook group, so we can just quickly communicate with the club members. But there are groups that are also private, like the Pennsylvania Forum, that is only for Pennsylvania district members. So those are things where anybody can post on there and share. So just to give you the difference there. And for the polls that we're going to talk about on Facebook, only the groups allow you to do a poll. So in the Pennsylvania Forum, we can create a poll, and you've probably seen me create some polls before. Stories is actually called Reels now. It's basically effectively another news feed, if you will, but it relies on really the like a visual media rather than a written text format. It allows you to be creative and add filters and effects on the camera. It's really just a more visual way to present content and let people know in less than like a few seconds that you can show something. And also you've seen Facebook hashtag just to get the word out. You can always use different hashtags, and that really, if you click on a hashtag, it can bring up everything that, for example, PADCon 2024, which was in August. If I click on that hashtag, it shows me everybody's post about PADCon 2024, even if I'm not friends with that person. So it's a way to group like content, just so, just giving a high level of things on Facebook. And we talked about Facebook groups for the quick club communication and polls, and allows you to also sign up for projects also on Facebook. So we're going to kind of talk through, and I'll do a little demo of that. So Facebook polls, when you're in a group, you can create a poll. In Pennsylvania Kiwanis Forum, for example, if I'm in that, the poll button is the third button on the where you would write text. It's right under my profile. And I would click on poll to create a poll. And when you create a poll, you would type a question for a poll, and then add the various options that are available for people to select. So this one is an example of one that could be posted on as a survey. What continuing education sessions would you like to see in 24-25 administrative year, which will probably be very helpful for Tom Harp and his board and his continuing ed chair. And so these options, as an example, maybe people want to see things on effective communication, mentoring future leaders, social media and digital tools, or creating an open house for recruitment or club management items. So any of that, that's just a poll in Facebook. And what it does is then it shows within the group, and people, all you have to do is select and highlight. You would select and highlight just that option and it'll show kind of like a graph, just very similar to that Zoom poll we did earlier, and shows that bar graph of how many people, it visually shows you what's in the lead, meaning that's probably a good option for a next session. So those are some quick things you could do as a poll in the group. We do that maybe on our club communication one. We do like, hey, when can you meet for certain things? And then we kind of also talk about those things too. So quick polls are great. So that's really creating polls in Facebook, nothing crazy. Yes, Chris?
I have done polls, but I don't remember. If you do a poll in the group, does it automatically send it out to everyone, or do you have to select who it's been sent to?
It's shown when you hit post, it's shown to everybody that is in that group. So they have to be, they'll have to look at there. One way to get everyone's attention, and in a group, you can only do this once a day. You can put in the comments, you can put @ everyone, and that's also one. The other way to do it is @ highlight, and what that does is also very similar as well. But everyone gets a notification that in the group. Highlight is slightly different, but it gets the job done as well. So those are two ways to. What was that?
I'll just say if that's whether they're public or a private group.
This is, yes, that's public or private group, correct. Those the @ are pretty helpful to get it in somebody's notification, because you can post a survey, but the members of that group have to go to that group and see it. Usually it's somebody has posted. Usually I'll get something like that. So, but not all the time. It depends on how your notification is set. So yeah, good questions. And I'll just look at that. All right, so let me just move on to collaboration tools and a real focus on survey and polling tools. Bring this over. Okay. So there's great tools for member surveys. So one of the things that we do, and we've always talked about even through membership, is you always, and this is a great time to do it, is to survey your members to see what you're doing well, what can we improve on, what are they looking to do for the next administrative year. So surveying your members at least annually is a great way to do it. And some tools to do that is surveymonkey.com, which I saw that a majority of you have used that, but that is the only flaw there is it's subscription based. You can do some free surveys in there, but it's very limited. So if you wanted to do like logic around surveys, for example, if someone says yes, or yes, I have a problem with this service project, usually maybe it'll skip to the next question so you can kind of delve into why they think that's a problem. So in the free SurveyMonkey, you can't do that. It's just straight questions, yes or no, and some drop downs. And so it just is limited, but it gets the job done. And so that's really a big difference on subscription versus the free. Google Forms is free, and that's a great way to use, and we'll kind of delve into that a little bit more, is a way to use, Google Forms is a way to do a member survey. Next is polling for a meeting or event. So often you're like, and I know this happens on the board, and also happens maybe with lieutenant governors, and maybe lieutenant governors can use this for trying to get a date, maybe for the regionals, for example. What's a great date to have the regionals? What's a great date to meet about this service project in the club? All these like tool things to poll everybody. Not everyone's at the meeting that you can ask. So you can also, an example you can use is doodle.com. It's also free. And then whenisgood.net. That's also a great new site that's pretty visually easy to use. Also,
There, one question in the chat right now is,
Yeah.
does SurveyMonkey have to be on Facebook? This is from Kathy Kane. She says she's seen it through emails. How do you do that?
yeah, you can create the when you're in surveymonkey.com, you
Okay.
create the survey, and then when even the Google Forms does this, you can share using a link, and that link is then you can put in email, or you can put it in Facebook or on Instagram. So each of these tools provide you a sharing URL. So any other questions, Conrad? Missing?
Nothing right now.
Okay, awesome. Good questions. And for project sign up, we have Sign Up Genius. And so for this session, I'm going to focus on Google Forms, When is Good, and signupgenius.com. So Google Forms. Some people do not like Google, but this is a great way to survey and provide surveys to our members. You don't really need a Gmail account to log in. And I say this, you do need an account to get into Forms, but it doesn't have to be Gmail. So that's, I want to clarify that. Because many schools and many other organizations use the Google site, but it's not gmail.com. For example, Pennsylvania district, we have a pakiwanis.org. That's our email at the end, and that's based on the Google Suite. So that's why I wanted to clarify. But you have to log in some way to create a Google form. When you fill out a Google form, you don't need any account. So it can be completed by anyone with a link, and you've probably seen that multiple times. Since on the survey, a few of you guys have used Google Form. And the results can be in a spreadsheet. So I'm going to show that. So on the right there is an example of an event registration. Someone's trying to register for event, so that can be used. Another example, Google Forms has a lot of templates. One was maybe a member satisfaction survey that I did for Kiwanis Club of Lock Haven, and that link was sent out to the members of the Lock Haven Club. And the results were only sent to me at the time. And on the right, something that my club does is when we get a new member, I want to find out some information about them so we can spotlight them on Instagram and Facebook. So, and also in our newsletters to our rest of our members. So a form like this, an intake form for new members, we send this out, and I'll show you that in a bit too, live. It has capabilities of just your name, your name and your phone number. What do you do? When did you join Kiwanis? And tell me a little bit about yourself. And they can also, we ask them to upload a photo, and that's that. And so Google Forms allows you to do that. So to give you a little bit about a little demo, you would go to forms.google.com, and if you're not logged in already, you log in with a account and then start a new form, and you can use a template from a gallery or copy a recent form. So to share a live demo of this, 1 second. It's this one. Window. I have a lot of windows open. Let me find it. Okay. Mm, is it sharing? It's not sharing. Hold on. Mm, all right, so now we're, 1 second. All my windows closed, so super fun. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Let's share this window. All right, so for Google Forms, what you, I think you guys can see this. All right, can you see my Google form? Yeah, no, okay.
All right now.
Oh, that's weird. What is sharing? All right. Sharing. All right. Here's a Google form. So we go to googleforms.com and it'll go directly to Google, and you can create a blank form here, or you can create, or you can use a template. So if you have, for example, a, event registration, maybe you want to use this, and it's already kind of built for you. And then all you have to do is click in here and just put in, what, what your event is, and your address, and then an email, whatever it is, and then maybe the event. So whatever the event is, you can get all this information. It's already in the template, but maybe it's a 1-day event. So, maybe it's only on January 4th, and you can customize it. So this one's a template has 3 days. So we're going to click on it and just delete the days we don't need. We might not need this question, but this is a way for you to customize questions from the template that's already there. Instead of organization, maybe we want to say, what club are you from? Club name. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can take some of the templates. You don't have to be tech savvy. You can type anything in, anything around the events, and then that. And then if you want to preview how it looks, you can click on that eye, and then it'll show you a preview of what a user will see, what someone else would see. And you can, and that's all that. And then right there, you already have a form ready to go. So you can use a lot of these. The responses, it will all show up in here. And you can also link to a Google Sheet by clicking on Link to Sheets. And you can name your spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet will be created. So that's something you could download as well. So I won't do that here, but that's quickly how you would do a Google form on, just say, an event. But again, you can make these questions anything you want. So it doesn't have to be an event. You can go and look through this template. Up here are all your templates here, like that. They have all different kinds, RSVP, a party invite, t-shirt sign up, all those. And then customer feedback might be a good model for a survey. So everything's here, nothing that you'd have to reinvent. You're not reinventing the wheel. And for example, and then one of the things I had created, this is my new member one that you kind of saw a little bit of on the PowerPoint. I welcomed a new member, and then I asked them to upload a file, and I just get that. I could change the names, and these are the responses. These are responses of new members that completed it. So this is how your results will show up. And I have people's pictures, and then they tell me a little bit about themselves. And I just use that information so I can introduce people to the club. So that's one way to do it. So that is Google Forms, and yeah. So any questions on that? So the next thing we're going to talk about is when is good. It's fairly unfamiliar to a lot of folks, but it's great to see. This is something where we used for district convention committee. Here's an example of one. One of the good things is this is free and it's easy to set up. And one of the things we liked about it, because you can easily see it visually to see who's available and whatnot. So on the left are people who completed the survey, and on the right, it shows you by dots. Typically, if there's a resounding, like this is the best date, it is highlighted in green, and you know that that's the meeting date is great. But we have many different schedules. So what you do is you go for the highest dots, and that's when you create. That means that's who has availability on that. So just to share that. So it is, the way you would get that is through, you would go to whenisgood.net, and it's free. And this is a survey that I showed you. And what's great is you can take your mouse and highlight over it and hover and click on it if you want. Oops, close that. So I can hover over these dots, and for example, Wednesday, July 31st, 6 can make it, 4 can't. So that was the highest, I think the number, and then this one was, it said 5, so there was 5 dots there. So 5 can make it, 5 can't make it. So as you see, people, we had some difficulties meeting as a committee, but based on this is a great way to do one. And the way to do one, if we want to create, you don't need an account. You can just go here and use it. And if I wanted to create a new event, I click on the top right there, it says new event. And the way it gives it to you is like, as of today until the end of time, maybe I want to find out who can meet on, like, if there's a membership meeting, I usually all pick what is good for most people. So maybe I select first, like the dates that would be an option, maybe 6, 8 o'clock. Maybe you want it 30-minute intervals. So this will shift. It looks weird right now, 6:30, 7:30, and you would just keep going, whatever you need. Maybe usually it's not on the weekends, so we want to select Monday, Tuesday next week, and maybe only available Wednesday. Who's available, right? So after that, I name the event just committee meeting, and I create the event, and that's it. I just selected what were the options, and this is the passcode. If you want to look at it, I'll copy it. And then you get these links on email too. So this is the link that I would send everybody. So if you want to just play, the link is in the chat if you want to click on it, and you can just click on any time that might be available to you, just as an example, and it'll open up in a browser, and it would go, so you would click on here, and then you would select the times that work for you. And for example, if I was looking at this, maybe I'm only available these times. It's not suspicious, it's for me, it's okay. So,
Yeah, I just don't want someone to get scared about that, so.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's one of the things, when it's good. Some of the free sites, you do have to be careful, but I will vouch for this site. The board has used this site since I was governor, and we used it, obviously you saw at our decon meeting. So it's not like there's anything sensitive we're entering, we're just saying our name and when we can, and sometimes people don't use their real name. If you saw on my thing, you saw that the governor-elect of New Jersey put Marty McFly. That's not his real name, but he put that in there and he put in the schedule. So you can see that. And then if you go back, you can see where the results are. They give you a results page, and like Barb put in, and oh, the other thing is I have to hit, and then this is after you do that, you have to type your name again, and then I'll send the response. So you can update your responses, but the responses come up. I refresh this. It says Barb and I. So when I look at myself, this is when I'm available. When it's Barb, that's only she's available. So there's not one common time where Barb and I can meet right now. So that tells you something. But this is visually, it will show you how that looks. So it's something quick and easy if you want to use. So I just want to introduce you to that tool. And so let's go back to this. So again, it's a free tool and we've been using it, so it's been pretty good. So I'm going to talk about Sign Up Genius. I know there has been some requests around this. It's an online tool to manage those sign up. It's a great solution on the web to let you kind of manage your volunteers or to sign up for committees or anything where you need to kind of manage RSVPs in a good way, especially if you have a large event. And I just want to say that there are two plans. The basic is free. If you want to use Sign Up Genius, it is free, and that's pretty good. It's great for the basic plan. It's good for personal or family use or just small events like potlucks or class parties or things like that. It helps, and it also includes email reminders to invite to people who sign up saying, hey, don't forget you signed up for this. So that's pretty good, and it has many themes that are still free. The premium plan is a paid subscription. They start at $11.99 a month. The difference is there's more advanced features, ability to start and stop times for certain slots. You know, there's some complex slots for a large event, and provides custom email to different folks. We don't, typically on this, I don't really care for a custom email. It's just basically an email to remind me. So, it's really your preference, but the premium plan is $11.99 a month if you want to use that. But I would say the basic free is great for anybody and for clubs. Again, it's used to sign up and track volunteers, sign up for a potluck, maybe sign up for shifts or slot. To the right there, Sign Up Genius was used for convention volunteer management. So we had, when they say slot, it's called, it's a grouping, and you can do it by slot, or you can do it by date, or you can do it by time. So this particular template, I use it by slot because, for example, while welcome bag stuffing was only one night, convention office was multiple days over different shifts. So that's one way to manage it and to see who's able to volunteer. Other examples of Sign Up Genius is maybe you have a meal plan, meals that you want to donate to a family, who's bringing what. So maybe you sign up for a meal. Other things that people could do. Again, it says auditions, but you can basically do it by date. So maybe there's different volunteer opportunities and there's different shifts, but it's all one date. So you can do date and then maybe multiple times, and maybe the slot could be different tasks. Maybe if you have a golf tournament, maybe someone's running registration, or maybe someone is working the food area. So those are some available. That's what we call slots. That's what I mean by slots. So other things could be, you can use Sign Up Genius to register for a convention. But I will warn you that it's a very basic registration. It's basically, are you coming or you not? To do custom, what do you want to register for is a little more complex, and you will have to use the premium. But I don't recommend Sign Up Genius for convention registration. Just FYI. So, but the biggest thing is here is like helping, another example on the right is to donate. If you're donating, if your project is to donate to a homeless shelter, maybe for the holidays, who's going to bring laundry detergent, who's going to donate toothbrushes, who's going to donate toothpaste. So this is a way that you can get your club members involved so they can sign up. Even if they are not at your meeting, this is a great way. You can send a link and they can sign up for anything that is available. So it's one way to kind of manage a project. So I'm going to go over that. So basically we'll do a demo, but basically you would create a sign up. You would type in the title of the sign up, maybe Carnival Volunteers and your group. And then you can edit the picture. So you can edit some of these templates and edit the descriptions, and you'll move forward to do that. But let me show you a example just so people you can try this after this, but it's pretty simple way to do things. Hold on. So sorry about the windows. Okay, that is the sign up one. Let me pull up the other one. Here it is. Sorry. Okay. So it's creating a sign up. So I logged in as me. So if you don't have a sign up account, you will just have to create an account, which is free. Like I said, you would create a email or utilize your email and password, and that's it. So this one is Sign Up Genius that is owned by the district convention account we have. So this might be so what you would do is then go to signups, discard this one. I'm just going to go through the whole thing. So if I'm going to log in and all right. So we're going to create a sign up. So then you always want to use that button on the top right. All right. So the title of my sign up is maybe, so I'll kind of do the similar where we're doing convention volunteers, but you could do, if this is your club, maybe like a park cleanup volunteers, sign up. If this is like for your club, for example, you have to select a group. And it's just really a way to label it. So maybe this is my club. So maybe it's the mainline club members. And then I hit create. It's just some markers. It doesn't mean you have to add all the members there. It's just saying who's going to be using this and who's my audience. And it's just a label. What type of category is this? Is it for fundraising, scheduling, or volunteering? And this is to help for volunteering. And they always want to ask, like, what is the category of cause? Because it's Kiwanis, I always select a civic and community. If there's something that more fits what you're doing, maybe you're doing a kickball tournament, maybe then you do a sports and recreation. The reason this is asked is because once you select something, the different templates available will change. So like sports and rec, see on the right here, all the sports stuff started coming, soccer balls and all the different type of templates I could use for that are available. But if I use civic engagement or club or groups, for example, maybe I want them to come to an open house or the club members, they're all, so the templates switch. So that's the reason for why it's asking. So I'm gonna just click civic and community. And this, anything that you see with that yellow, like kind of like ribbon, that means it's for premium folks. So it's not free. So to be able to sort through these themes, so you don't have to recreate the wheel, just click on free, what's free, and maybe then you can look through the templates, what looks good. So maybe I'm going to select this one, or so you can also click on highlight ones that you like. Oh, there's a park cleanup already. Boom, already done. So I'm going to select that one and hit save and continue at the bottom. So this is what I was talking about, the different example. You can sort this sign up by date. You can sort it by slot, meaning like think of slot as a task. And then you have the dates, slots only. Maybe you have, you just want to know who's going to bring certain things. So that might work well for, like we saw that example of the homeless shelter. Who's going to bring toothbrushes? Who's going to bring toothpaste? This would be an example of using slot only. But this is a park cleanup that's only for one day. So our project is going to be maybe on October 12th, and it's going to be our park cleanup. We're going to go from 8 a.m., not 6 because I won't be there. So, and then maybe it's going to go till 11 a.m., right? And where's the location? Maybe here, it's here at Fairmount Park here in Philadelphia. So it will also, as you start typing the location, you can get exact location. And then you can allow everyone to see the RSVPs, include sign-up sheets to bring or do it others. I don't need people to add more things, so that's all we're gonna have. Let's see. And then that's it. So we're gonna save and continue. So it could be, and then that's it. You save and continue. And then the link is when we want to publish it, you can click publish. And then what happens when you hit publish is, remember that link that I know Kathy mentioned, how do I get that link to somebody as well? You can copy this link and you can, I'll just put it in the chat for you as well, so you can see what it looks like on your end. So, so that's all. So other than that, so when I click on this, you can see park cleanup, and then who's RSVPing. So basically, I'm just asking people, are you coming or not? So I'm going to RSVP, and maybe I'm going to say yes. How many people? Maybe I'm going to bring in, make him volunteer, and then I hit RSVP now. So, and that's it. So you'll get a couple of these ads. That's okay. No thanks. It's kind of virtual of a free site. A lot of ads may pop up, so you can ignore them. And then I'm signed up, and then I will get an email that as I'm admin of it, I'll get an email in my admin, and then you will get the person will get a RSVP. So when you're in here as a sign up genius, a nice little feature too is you can click on add to calendar. So I have Outlook, so I would click on Outlook and it will download the Outlook version of that meeting and allow me to add it to my Outlook. If you're using a Mac, you can click on that and it will download and everything. And if you use Google, so all these are set for you. So there's nothing extra. So it's a nice tool to have. So people have it on their calendars to remind them. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Is any questions around Sign Up Genius? All right. I think I see everyone's. All right, so now we're going to go into club websites. So I'm not sure, but if you have, hold on. You guys see let me just double check. All right, so you guys see, if you do not yet have a club website, I urge you to definitely take a look at that from Kiwanis International. It's a WordPress format. pakiwanis.org is on that WordPress format. It's free, which is a huge thing. So if you are not, I urge you to go to pakiwanis.org, click on member resources there, and then select club websites. And all you'll need to do to fill that out to get your own website is your webmaster info, basically who is going to be managing that website and what your district name is. And the district is Pennsylvania. And then your K number for your club. So obviously each club has their own K number. So that's when you hit that club websites, you will see this form. It says all the information I just told you, what you have to fill out, and then you hit submit. And once that happens, your the webmaster will get an email when the site is ready from Kiwanis International. The one thing it doesn't do is if you have your own domain, pakiwanis.org, it does not domain forward. So you can type pakiwanis.org, it'll get to the front page, and that is it. You cannot say pakiwanis.org/new club or club websites or whatever the back end tags are, because Kiwanis International, that's the only flaw for this WordPress site, is it does not allow for domain forwarding. So to us, it's fine because we point everything to the front page. So that might be something to consider for your club. And one of the things, the reason I kind of bring up website, one of the things that is very, that works well for us is having the membership application right on your website. So it would be something like this as a web form. And I'll show you that in a second, but it is a form that a member can fill out. And and you can also have them set up, if you have Stripe or a credit, account or PayPal for your club, you can have the member pay online, or if you have Square set up. And I know that Brittany talked about Square in one of the continuing ed sessions, and you can connect Square to this. So everything is online app, you can get their payments and be done. And your administrator, the webmaster, will get all this information, will then forward it to the secretary of that club. So that is one way. Yep, Conrad?
There was a question there about Venmo. Does that work with this?
Nope, Venmo does not work with WordPress at this time. So only PayPal, Stripe, and Square at this time. So people can pay by credit card. What I recommend on Venmo, you can have at the bottom of this, and I'll share that, is to talk, you would say, if you want to pay by Venmo, please Venmo at, and then whatever your club's Venmo is. That's one option to look at. And yeah, so there is some limitations to that. So
Chris Wallace has a question.
yep, go ahead, Chris.
On the member application, do you include, or how do you handle clearances? Because on our manual forms, we have things that we usually include with our manual form.
So we don't ask for so for us, and I'm just speaking about my club, we find that that has private information, and that should be sent to the secretary directly and not via the website. All we're trying to do is get them in first, get their information first, so the secretary can enter them into the Connect. So we ask for the basic information, except for, we do not ask for birthday, because we want to also have that communication with the member. So there's a little bit of, on purpose, we don't put in there because we want to have that conversation. We want to have the vital information, but we want to provide that to the board for approval. So once the members approve, then the secretary, I mean, in my club, we ask for the clearances at that time, not immediately. Every
Okay.
club's different. So my recommendation is that you know, if you have an app, that might be a manual piece for you guys. Does that answer your question?
Mhm.
Okay, great. So, all right. It's not avoiding. Anyway, so if I go to, let me set up my site for a minute. So let me share my screen. Using my Zoom. All right, so if we share, you guys see my screen? I think you do.
Yep.
Yep, you see it. So this is the Mainline's website. And on the top, we have become a Kiwanis member. And we have the information, we have the dues. He said, here's your annual, it's $150. And this is the application. They can also email us if they have any questions. But basically, if it's a new member, they type all this information in. What is their membership type? And also, we want to know if they're a former sponsored youth, because that helps us. Because as we know, sponsored youth get a 2-year discount, and we get the. We also ask for their sponsor's name if it's applicable, and if they were a former Kiwanian. We ask for their digital signature. We said accept, and they have to hit accept because that's their digital signature that comes through, and the date of the submission of the application. That is all we ask for. And then the secretary gets the email from this Gmail, and then we'll contact that new member on payments. So that's how we handle it. And I will offer, and I've offered this to other clubs, this form is available. I can send you, as I'm a webmaster for this club and other clubs, I can export forms, and I have given it that form, which comes into what's called a JSON file, and the webmaster of another club can import it in, and they also have it. So, so this is something actually I borrowed from Kiwanis Club of Bald Eagle in Nittany Valley. Their webmaster sent me this JSON file. I imported it, and this is pretty much their application, except for I made a few changes that were more for us. So, and you can edit that. So that'll save you some time as well. And I'll offer that to any club here. If you do not have a membership application on your website, I can just send you this file, and you can give it to your webmaster, and you will have it. You can edit it. So to save you some time. Let me look at my time. Okay. We are coming up on time, so I'm going to just quickly talk through other tools really quick that you might not have. Other tools, I'm almost done. Other tools you may want to look at, but I'm not going to talk through is I've talked about canva.com in the past. I've done presentations on that. That's a great graphical tool, way to make flyers for your club, and a way to also connect it to social media. Eventbrite.com allows clubs to accept payments for any event you're hosting. So if you're hosting maybe an open house, but there's a fee, or you have a fundraiser and there's a fee, Eventbrite is a great way to just get that set up. If you don't have Square, if you don't have Stripe, Eventbrite has all those. There is a fee. There is a percentage that Eventbrite gets, but but at least everything is all there. So I just want to make sure you know that's available for clubs to use as well. And Kiwanis resources, obviously, just a review, all the Kiwanis branding is on kiwanis.org/brand. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can have, there's various logos, so we always want to use the proper logo. If your club is still using that birdcage logo, you really need to go to kiwanis.org/brand and utilize the correct logos, because we want to make sure that we are uniform across globally and have the same symbol, so everyone knows Kiwanis. And it also has photos, so if you don't know what to put up on your Facebook or what to put on your website, photos are already there, stockpiled and approved for you to use. So I urge you to check out that. And other PA district resources, make sure you're you're in the PA Kiwanis forum. There's always posting on like this forum tonight. It was also in there, and also different resources and tools. So that's also key. And don't forget to check out your biweekly email from our district secretary. Make sure you're getting that. All members are getting that. Make sure you're checking your spam, because that was an issue in the past. But all emails come from Pennsylvania. I misspelled it. It's Pennsylvania Kiwanis at pakiwanis.org. So, and this was the latest, which came out today on the right. So that is an example. I want to thank you for taking the time to be here tonight. I know there's a lot of options to do tonight, and but thank you for being here. And anything that I can assist you with or questions?
Chris
Yeah.
has another question here about changing the email for the biweekly.
Yeah, who do I
Yeah,
connect with that?
so we saw your email, and what you need to do
You
is
do.
you have to change your email in Connect. We pull everything from Connect. So you need your districts, you need your secretary in your club to change. That's a good question. Like all the emails in the Connect system where you have your member rosters, if your email is not correct, that's where we pull it from. So we can't change your email every week, if that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
coming from the portal. So if you're,
Okay. So
yeah.
is there more than one portal that a secretary has? Because she said she changed my stuff a long time ago.
Okay. I'll double check with Melissa, but I did see your emails on that. And
Okay.
maybe she needs to do a re-download, but she's pulling it from the Connect system. So
Okay.
yeah. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Sarah.
Sarah, for everything you've done here tonight. I'm sure there's probably going to be a lot more questions, but and also I'd like to thank everybody that signed on here this evening. And hopefully you'll be able to use some of these tools that she explained to you this evening. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I know some of us have another meeting in about 1 minute, so
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to be jumping off of here. But again, thank you very much, Sarah.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.